Third time's the charm. That's what they say, right? We welcome you all live to MCTV. For the third time, we're going to try and get this Mechanicsburg Huskies game, trying to get it official. If you're just joining us Monday here at Capolia's Field, Huskies went down by 3. Game got rain delayed. Then today, just about an hour or so ago, make it a little earlier, Huskies scored 6 in the bottom half of the second. We're going to pick it up here. 1 ball, 1 strike. We're going to start with one of my favorite sayings. It'll be ones across the board in the top of the third inning. Parker Cronover is going to stay on the mound here for the Huskies. Warm-ups are over. The clouds still loom above us, but it's time for Husky baseball. We enter in 1-1 count. Back underway. We're going to have a couple of Huskies warm up into the dugout. That'll be Aiden Arnold. Pickoff attempt to start this. It's in there safely. Mechanicsburg trying to find some energy. I'm not under the garbage bag anymore, which makes me feel a little more comfortable. Runner on first. 1 out. 1-1 count. Comes the first pitch from Parker. That's going to be high and away. That'll be a little rust. Mechanicsburg dugout very happy at that ball. 2-1 count, 1 out. Cronover on the mound. Runner takes his lead at first. Swings through strike 2. Rain has stopped. Very faint rain. Feeling about a drop. Feels like, I don't know how to describe it. Very, very light rain. Here comes the 2-2 pickoff and safely. Weaver at first. Here comes the 2-2 pitch from Crownover. That's going to be high. It'll be a count. Will go full. Dark clouds loom all around Capolia's Field. At a 30-minute lightning delay. Closer to 40. The 3-2. It's going to be low. In there safely. Got him out. They're going to call him safe, actually, after the walk. Called it low. Lepley throws him out, but it won't matter. Tying run comes off to the plate. 0-0 count. First and second. Runner was safe due to it being a walk. Runner on first. Claps to the dugout. Tying run at the plate after the Huskies scored 3 in the bottom half of the 6th. Gonna take strike 1 on the outside part of the plate. Move the camera over here, get closer to home plate. Center. First and second, 1 out, double play ball in play. We'll take inside for ball 1. One's across the board once again for number 11. Here comes the pitch. Swings through strike 2. Got him on the changeup. Count goes full. Or 2 strikes, my apologies. 1-2 count. To verify. Here comes the 1-2. He struck him out. Throw it down to second. He's in there safely. Struck him out on us. Another changeup in the dirt. 2 out, 2 on, tying run at the plate. Crownover on the mound. Here comes the first pitch. Going to take strike 1 on the slider there. Ryder now steps up to the plate, tri-sport athlete. Plays football and basketball. Very good athlete. Swings through strike 2 and quickly falls behind 0-2. We need to get to the 5th inning for this game to be official. We're in the top half of the third. 2 out, 2 on. The 0-2 pitch to Ryder. Outside for ball 1. Crown over. This will be his 25th pitch of the game. Runner's going to take off. They're going to say he went around. Throw down to first in time for out 3. Crown over goes after the inning, allows 1 more on base. But the Huskies still lead by 6 live, or lead by 3, 6-3 live on MCTV. Huskies lead by 3 after 2.5 innings. We welcome you all back live to MCTV Baseball. I'm Aiden Stevens. And this is the 3rd time we're going to try and finish this game, I should say. Started this one on Monday, picked it up earlier today. Lightning delay. 3rd time's the charm. It'll be Weaver leading off for the Huskies with Ahmed at the on-deck circle. He's at the on-deck circle. It took me a second, but we got there. The 6-run rally all started because of a Madden Weaver reaching on an error. First baseman pulled his foot off the bag. Weaver's going to start us off here in the bottom half of the 3rd. Weaver steps now into the plate. Reached on an error his last time up. Husky dugout now gets loud. Here comes the 0-0 pitch. Weaver will take strike 1. After taking the 0-1 slider, here comes the pitch. Going to be taken for strike 2 on the outside part of the plate. Coleman on the mound for the Wildcats. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. Chopped foul, stay alive. Here comes the 0-2 to Weaver once more. Weaver's going to hit it to second base. Dribbler, tough play at first, in time for the first out. We need to get to the 5th inning without any thunder or lightning for this game to be official. That's what the Huskies are aiming for, but they want to get it done in 7. So it'll be 1 out. Going to take strike 1 on the outside part of the plate with a fastball. But you know, 1 count quick to Ammon. That one's hard hit ball to second base. Routine play over the first in time for the 2nd out of the inning. Good news. This inning's been pretty quick so far. The clouds still loom above us. One thunder or lightning. Lightning leads the thunder. Fun fact of the day. Anything of that nature will result in another 30-minute pause. Inside for ball one. Hopple on deck if needed. Alexander at the plate. Here comes the pitch. Crushed foul down the line. Got all of that one, just a bit foul. Quickly 0-2 the pitch from Coleman. That one's popped up. Chasing, getting under it. Go foul, will stay alive. Alexander at the plate. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Gonna take strike three. The outside part of the plate. A quick bottom of the third. Huskies don't have any base runners. You're watching live on MCTV Baseball.
From behind, he slipped. I saw that video. Like he went from the front. It looked like he went on purpose. Yeah, from behind, and you see him try to grab it out. Yeah.
Crownover's going to stay on the mound here for the fourth inning. We welcome you back to MCTV. I'm Aiden Stevens.
Well, if it's not raining,
Hey, get him up, get the ball. Hey.
Crownover back on the mound. Here comes the first pitch of the inning. Gonna take just high for ball one. Here comes the 1-0. It'll be 2-0 now. Here comes the 2-0 from Crownover. Take strike one, low away fastball. That one's going to be hit center field. Get down for a base hit. And now Mechanicsburg has a runner on first. Base runners is the key for the Wildcats. Adderese now comes under the plate. Runner on first. Crownover at the mound. No outs, top of the fourth. Here comes the pitch. That's tying away for ball one.
You would think that would be a sign to the computer they have down there. I went to lift it up.
Adderese in the plate, runner on first. Going to be hit up the middle for another base hit. Runner's going to stay at second, and the tying run's now coming up to the plate for the Wildcats. Now coming up to the plate, the Rutgers commit. Number 34, Naylor, comes up to the plate. Coming to the plate, Rutgers, shortstop. Hit the home run to end the second inning and end the game on Monday. Here comes the pitch. One swing could tie the game. He'll take strike one. First and second, no outs. Mechanicsburg looking to tie the game. It's going to be low in the dirt. Blocked by Lepley. Lepley is going to hold on to it. It'll be a 1-1 count with no outs. 2 on base. Two on. 1-1 count. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. Gonna be hit to short. This might be 2, 6, 4. Not gonna get the runner at first. It'll be 1 out. Naylor reaches on an infielder's choice. 2, 3, 4 coming up to start. Possibly try and start a rally for the Wildcats. Aiden Mark up to the plate. Plays third base. First and third, 1 out. Naylor at first. Watch out for him to possibly take off. Pick off in there safely. Conover looks back at first. Here comes the first pitch. Takes high for ball 1. Patrick on deck. Here comes the 1-0. Takes strike 1. Naylor at first. Runner's going to take off for second. Lepley drops the ball. 2 in scoring position. Flipped scorecards on the scoreboard. Huskies have 6 runs on 3 hits. Mechanicsburg has 6 runs on 3 hits. Don't see that a lot. Two in scoring, tying right at the plate. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. Mechanicsburg dugout is loud. Takes low. It'll be a 3-1 count. Here comes the 3-1. Patrick on deck. Going to be low, and the bases will be loaded. Patrick can, with 1 swing, could take the lead. Left-handed hitter. Coach Ray Hopple's going to come out here, and we're going to call time. Come out and call time. We're going to take a break with them. You're watching MCTV Baseball.
Infield and Crownover. On the mound, Crownover had a great day in the loss to Mount Union.
Hopple's going to keep Crownover in the game. Have a nice pep talk with the infield. Ever heard Coach Hopple? Looks like Hartung is going to be the one to possibly come in next. Here comes the 0-0 pitch to Patrick. One swing could give the Wildcats the lead. Takes strike one on a low changeup. Nice off-speed pitch. Had a little bit of vertical and horizontal movement. Slider. Here comes the 0-1. Gonna take inside for ball one. One's across the board. Bases loaded. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Third base playing in. Outside. Ball 2. Count evens up. 2 balls, 1 strike, 1 out. Chickening just under 250. That one's going to be hit the first. Christine's going to field it at first. Gonna nice. With the 6-run first inning, you can kind of allow a run. Mechanicsburg does get 1. Tying run is at second base. Heads up play by Christine, just making sure. Possible bad throw. Christine usually used to playing third. Here comes the first pitch. Swings through the slider. It'll be an 0-1 count. Naylor at third. Runner on second as well. 0-1 count to Grady Weaver. Crownover throws a curveball. Got strike 2. 0 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Crownover to get out of the jam. Fouled off, stays alive. Weaver doesn't do a lot, but it's just enough. WCHX here right beside us. 0-2 count, 2 outs, 2 in scoring position. Crownover, the 0-2. That one's hit center field. Strohacker chasing. Makes a leaping catch, and Evan Strohacker with a big-time catch out there in center field will end the inning. Saves 2 runs and the lead for Mifflin County. Huskies looking to add on more live on MCTV Baseball. Mechanicsburg scores 1 but leaves 2 in scoring position by a juggling catch from Evan Strohacker. So it'll be an 8-9-1 due up here in the bottom of the 4th. Got to get through the 5th inning for this game to be official. But for the first time in a long time, the sun's poking out here at Capoliez Field. You're watching MCTV Live Baseball. Mechanicsburg scores 1 in the top half of the 4th. Huskies scored 6 in the bottom half of the 2nd. That was the first full half inning we played today. When we return, first pitch of the 4th inning, live on MCTV.
It looks like it's
Huskies lead by 2 after 1 in the top half of the 4th. Here comes the 0-0. Hopple swings through strike 1. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Takes strike 2 on the curveball, up and in. Coleman still out there. Here comes the 0-2 pitch to Hopple.
Now in the bottom of the fourth.
Hopple will take high and away for ball 1.
County senior, pitched to Jim. Doubleheader at Cumberland Valley.
Here comes the 1-2 to Hopple. Hopple will take high, ball 2.
Side corner, 2-2.
Wood picks up.
You are right.
Here comes the 2-2. Swings through strike 3, and that'll be the first out of the bottom of the 4th.
1 out.
Lepley comes up to the plate at a single in the bottom of the 7th inning, or top of the 7th inning, versus Cumberland Valley. Swings through strike 1. Huskies had a 6-run bottom of the 2nd, leading 6-4 over Mechanicsburg. This is the 3rd time we're going to try and finish this game. With no weather, fouled back. It'll be an 0-2 count to the Huskies catcher.
4 runs on 6 hits, so charges an error. 6 runs on 3 hits, so 1 error.
Takes low in the dirt for ball 1.
Be all right. Go.
Here comes the 1-2 to Lepley.
Base is empty.
Lepley's going to hit one over the second baseman's head. That's going to get down into right center field. Lepley's going to round first. It'll be a hard hit single. And Strohecker has 1 on with 1 out, as I feel my first raindrop in the last 5 minutes. We're going to have a courtesy runner, Elliott Yetter.
Yetter again. Coming in. Buckley over first base.
Lepley over at first base for the 2nd time today. With a nice 2-strike single. Strohecker hitting just under 500, hitting around the 425 mark on the season. One of the best hitters in the Commonwealth League.
Strohecker into the box.
Yetter at first. 1 out.
For the eyes in the
Strohecker looks to bunt, pulls it back. It'll be a 1-0 count.
1 and out. Rubel on the deck circle.
Rubel on deck, Chris Stein in the hole.
Much of a lead off at first. Now has the short.
Here comes the 1-0. High and inside for ball 2.
Right towards the face. 2 balls in strike.
2-0 count to the Huskies leadoff. 4 runs on 6 hits for the Wildcats. 6-4. 6 runs on 4 hits for the Wildcats, as that'll be called strike 1 down the middle.
More coverage of Lincoln County baseball tomorrow. Heavy debate, of course, weather permitting.
Yetter at first. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. Takes low and away for ball 3. Coleman just missed the plate. 3-1 count. Here comes the 3-1 pitch to Strohecker. Pickoff attempt in there safely. Strohecker set. Here comes the 3-1 to the center fielder. Takes strike 2 and auto take mode there. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Yetter might take off here. Yetter takes his lead at first. Here comes the 3-2. Runner's going to take off. That one's going to get fouled off. Looks like Coach Hopple just showed his cards there as Strohecker fouls it off.
Not afraid to send Yetter. The 3-2 pitch on its way. Strohecker.
Keep an eye on Yetter at first base. Here comes the 3-2. Yetter's going to stay put. That's going to take low for ball 4, and it'll be Strohecker on first base once again today.
Bottom half of the fourth.
Rubel comes up to the plate.
Out 2 runs is on.
Rubel, small frame, third baseman, junior, right-handed hitting. Here comes the 0-0. Rubel's going to hit one center field. Yetter might tag to third. Yetter's going to go for it. Going to go back to second. Think twice of it. Rubel with a hard hit ball just right to the center fielder's glove, and it'll be 2 outs in the top or the bottom of the fourth. My apologies. Chris Stein has the lone homer of the season for the Huskies. First, second, 2 outs. 0-0 count to the first baseman in this game. Chris Stein takes strike 1. Here comes the 0-1 pitch to Chris Stein. Gonna take inside. Nearly hits the third baseman. Here comes the 1-1 pitch to Chris Stein. Chris Stein takes strike 2. Doesn't like the call. Game scheduled to start at 3. Had a lightning delay. Here comes the 1-2 pitch to Chris Stein. Chris Stein's going to hit one fairly deep left field. Going back, it'll go foul. Chris Stein just a millisecond too early on that one. Chris Stein's on Coleman. Roped one down the line. Here comes the 1-2. Chris Stein swings, struck him out. And that'll end the fourth inning. Wildcats trail by 2. You're watching MCTV. We're entering the 5th inning. 3 more innings left to go here of scheduled baseball. Crown over Snow on the mound. Had a mound visit last inning. Evan Strohecker might have the save of the day out there in center field. Caught a juggling ball back all the way at the wall. Here comes the 0-0 pitch. Gonna hit one to third. Rubel throws over to his third base partner. Chris Stein in time for out 1. Rubel's got a pretty big arm over there at third. Chris Stein usually used to playing over there, but Jaden Smith will not be back Friday. Expected return will be Monday. for Smith. Got ejected in this game, actually, on Monday. Here comes the 0-0. Take strike one on the changeup. It'll be an 0-1 count. One out, top of the fifth. That one's going to be hit to Rubel once again. Rubel has 2 outs in the inning. Third baseman to third baseman there on that one. Eli Reeder comes up to the plate. Crowning, we're trying to get through this inning quick. Here comes the 0-0. Outside, ball one. Here comes the 1-0. Outside, it'll be a 2-0 count to Ryder. Here comes the pitch. Outside, it'll be 3-0 count to the Tri-Sport athlete. The 3-0 to Eli. Take strike one in auto take mode there. Here comes the 3-1 from Parker. Swings through that. He's worked himself into a full count. Crown over. Set on the mound. Here comes the 3-2. Takes just low and away. And it'll be a ball 4. Runner on first. Caden Valentino comes up to the plate. Runner on first. Runner on first. Here comes the first pitch outside, ball 1. Just lost the curve ball. Huskies scored 6 runs in the bottom of the second while having 1 out the whole time. Take strike one. Here comes pickoff attempt in there safely.
What'd you get, Zach? I got the Galaxy S25. You like it?
Here comes the 1-1 pitch. That one's going to be hit through the first and second gap. They're going to send Eli nearly around third. Tying run comes up to the plate. Matarice now comes up to the plate in the 9-hole. First and second, 2 outs. A walk and then a single. Tying run now at first. Here comes the first pitch. Take strike one outside. Here comes the second pitch. That one's going to be hit over the third baseman's head. They're going to send them around the play. At the plate, there is none. They're going to go back to third, get them out at third. Mechanicsburg scores 1, but they leave another one with a base running error. Huskies lead by 1, and we got ourselves a game once again, live on MCTV Baseball. Huskies led by 3 at one point. The gap cut down to 1. My apologies. This has been one of the best games of the season when it comes to competitiveness and offense. Put those two metrics together, it's 6-5 through 5.5. 6 more outs all the Huskies need to put this one in the win column and try and close up the Cedar Cliff for first place in the league. Landon Haig comes up to the plate. Haig, Weaver, 2 on deck. Haig at the plate. Here comes the first pitch at the bottom of the 5th. Inside, nearly hits Haig. One 0 count after that one ran in. Mechanicsburg has scored 1 in 3 of the 5 innings, scored 2 in the other. Haig's going to piece one right center field. Going to chase on it. It's going to get down in the gap. Haig's going to go after 2. They're going to send him round the 3rd. Landon Haig has a leadoff triple in the 5th inning. Landon Haig is hype, and as is the Huskies dugout. Weaver now comes up. Infield's going to play in. Ammon on deck. It'll be Logan Alexander in the hole. Huskies dugout feeling the energy. Have not scored since the 2nd inning, and now this is their best chance too. Take strike 1. First trip, one of the first triples of the year. I know it's the first for Landon Haig. Not sure if it's the team's first. Not a lot of triples you see. Here comes the 0-1. Popped up. Third baseman and catcher going to get under it for out 1. This is now, after the Haig triple, a big momentum inning. Ammon comes to the plate. Going to step off. Steps back in. And we Alexander on deck. Ammon at the plate. Here comes the first pitch. That one's going to be hit. Bloop second base over the head. And Landon Haig scores. Hyping up the Huskies dugout. Ammon has an RBI. And the Huskies lead 7-5. Runner on first. Plank will now pinch hit for Grady Hopple. Runner on first. 1 out. Huskies scored for the first time since the 2nd inning. Take strike 1. Alexander through a complete game against State College. That one's going to be hit to the pitcher. 1-4 in there safely. Plank will hit for Hopple. Fielder's choice. Alexander beats the throw out at first. Runner on first, 2 outs. Bottom of the 5th. Pickoff in there safe. Lepley on deck. Has the leg protective in there safely. My apologies. Close play at first. My apologies. Wasn't expecting a pickoff there. Gonna be ready for it now. Coleman sets up in the box. Here comes the pitch. Take strike one. Runner at first. 2 outs. Here comes the pitch. Swings through strike 2. Coleman still on the mound. Allowed 1 run in the bottom of the 5th, which we're in right now. That one's going to be hit left field. Left field gets under it. Huskies erase the 1 run that Mechanicsburg had with one of their own when we return 6th inning action live on MCTV. Parker Crownover started this game with a 5-out head start, but still going strong here heading into the 6th inning. He's gone 3 1/3 inning. Crownover stays in for the 6th inning. It'll be the top of the order due up.
Huskies baseball checks 105.5 into the top half of the 6th.
Naylor, the Rutgers commit, steps into the plate. Here comes the 0-0. Takes high and inside for ball 1. Crownover set on a plate. Here comes the 1-0. Takes low in the dirt for ball 2. Both dugouts being loud when their team's at the plate. Here comes the 2-0. Takes strike 1 down the middle with a fastball. Here comes the 2-1. That's going to hit below before it even got to the plate. Ball 3. Huskies have 7 runs on 6 hits, 1 error. Mechanicsburg has 5 runs on 8 hits and an error. Going to take low in the dirt. Naylor gets on base. Tying run comes up to the plate. Naylor homered on Monday in the top of the 2nd. 2 of their 5 runs. Runner on first, no outs. First pitch takes high from ball 1. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. Gonna take strike 1. 1-1, runner on first, tying run at the plate. Big game feel. That'll be the rest of the games for the Huskies. Pickoff in there safely. Kind of on the mound. Naylor at first. Gonna take strike 2. And it'll be a 1-2 count now. 6 more outs, all the Huskies need. Naylor at first. Parker looks over the pitch. Hit the third base. Rubel gonna get the force out at second. He's in there safe. Tying run at first, leading run at the plate. Mechanicsburg has had chances. No out. 2 on. That one's going to be hit the first. 3, 6. It gets away. And now one's run's going to score. They're going to keep the runner at third. And it's a 6-7 game here in the top of the 6th. We're going to take a break with them. 6-7 our score live on MCTV. First and third, no outs, tying run at the plate. Coach giving signs. Mechanicsburg has scored 3 of the last 4 runs. Gonna take strike 1 on the curveball. Finds the zone. Runner on first and third, no outs, tying run at third, leading run at first. Swings through strike 2 on the curveball, looking for the fences. It'll be an 0-2 count to Weaver. Here comes the 0-2. That one's going to be hit down the line at third, going to fumble at third, and we are tied at Capolias Field. No outs, tied at 7. Gonna try and squeeze one down, pulls it back for ball 1. Squeeze one down, pulls it back for ball 2. Sun shines here at Capolias Field. Going to squeeze one down. Gets it. Go. Foul. Hit off the catcher, Lepley. It'll be a 2-1 count. If you're just joining us, This is one to remember. Tied at 7. Copoliez Field. Huskies scored 6 in the bottom half of the second. Scored 1 in the bottom of the 5th. Other than that, they're going to call a balk on Crownover, and that'll send 2 in scoring position. Mechanicsburg dug out loud, leading run at 3rd. Here comes the 2-1. Outside for ball 3. Here comes the 3-1. Outside, ball 4. Bases are loaded with no outs. Dawson steps up into the plate. Gonna bring in Chase Hartung for Parker Crownover. We're tied at 7 when we return. The end of this game live on MCTV Baseball.
I'd imagine nobody else can move him out. Yeah.
Back to Mifflin County Baseball and CHX 105.5. Sponsored by Blaze Out Center Sugar. Pre-game sponsored by Furniture, Forest Street Sad Tavern, Boulevard Takeout, and Corner Vault. First Area Federal Credit Union, Keller Hohenstein Funeral Homes, Indiana Valley Track County Drug and Alcohol Abuse Commission, Two-Staff Cabinets, Acting Periodic, Special Waste Service Store. Continue in the top half of the 6th. There are no outs in this inning.
Bases loaded, 0 outs. Hartung comes into the game. This one's going to be one to remember for this season in the Commonwealth Conference. Takes outside, ball one. A walk sends home the leading run. Hartung plays football in the fall. That one's going to be hit to Christine. Christine's going to go home with it. Got him out at home. Saves a run. First out of the inning. Double play. Could save the Huskies here. Christine goes home, saves a run. Francis now steps into the plate. Francis will run, my apologies, for the catcher. One out. Double play ends the inning. Wildcats have already scored 2 this inning. Take strike 1. Low fastball. Had him looking. Here comes the 0-1. Take strike 2 on a curveball. Mechanicsburg has scored 4 runs in the last 3 innings. Huskies have scored 1 in the last 3. All the momentum goes in the Wildcats' favor. Here comes the 0-2. In the dirt, blocked by Lepley. Ryder at the plate. Here comes the 1-2. Low. Just missed for ball 2. A walk gives the Wildcats the lead. A balk. Anything other than an out, more likely than not, gives the Wildcats the lead. Here comes the 2-2. That's popped up. It's going to be foul out of play. Rubel gives chase. Just out of play. And it'll be a 2-2 count still. Wind picks up. If he caught that ball was barely in play. If he caught that, runner would have tagged. And that would have been a big time. Unironically, a big time heads up play from Lincoln Rubel. Count will stay at 2-2. Lepley and Hartung have a catch. Have a nice talk with each other. Game plan this 2-2 pitch to Ryder. Bases loaded, 1 out. Infield playing in. Here comes the 2-2 pitch to Ryder. That one's going to get fouled back. We'll do it again. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Bases jammed. Wildcats have scored 4 of the last 5 runs. 7-7 tied game. Hartung is set. The 2-2. Going to be in the dirt, blocked by Lepley. And we have a full count. Bases loaded. Tie game, top of the 6th. Biggest pitch of the game so far. Here comes the payoff pitch to Ryder. That one's going to get hit left center field. It'll score 1 run. Here comes 1. It's going to send home 2 all the way to the left center wall. It's going to score 3, and it'll be a standing triple for Eli Ryder. And in the third different sport, Eli Ryder has silenced the Huskies. He had 20 in a basketball game in the winter, had a 60-yard touchdown. 5 runs in the top of the 6th gives the Wildcats the lead. A 3-2 pitch. RBI triple. Cleared the bases with Eli Ryder. Low and away, ball 1. Here comes the 1-0 from Hartung. Over the middle, will be fouled back. Huskies led 6-3 at one point. Outside, it'll be a 2-1 count. Mechanicsburg has scored 7 of the last 8 runs in the game. That one's going to be hit to second base. Hoppel's going to go home. In there, safe. And now it's 11-7 lead. Runner on first, 1 out. Longest lead, biggest lead of the game. Runner's going to take off for second. Lepley, throw down, in there, safe. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. Takes strike 1 on the outside part of the plate. 1's across the board. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. 6 runs in the top half of the 6th for the Wildcats. Put them up by 4. Here comes the pitch. That one's going to be hit the first. Chris Steinfield's clean. He gets the second out of the inning. Naylor now comes up to the plate. Rutgers commit. Runner on third, 2 outs. Hit a homer in the top of the 2nd on Monday. And the mood has changed at Capoliez Field. Low, ball 1. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. Swings through strike 1. Falls down to a knee. Hartung tied at 1-1. Wildcats lead by 7, 1-1 count. 2 outs, the 1-1. High for ball 2. Here comes the 2-1 to Naylor. Takes high. It'll be 3-1. Here comes the 3-1 to Naylor. Swings through strike 2. Count goes full. Full count. The payoff pitch to Naylor. He struck him out. Got him looking. Huskies allow 6 in the top half of the 6th, trying to cut the lead and maybe take it themselves. They've had a 6-run inning earlier in the game. They're going to need to do it once again to take the lead. Live on MCTV.
Everything got a little bigger.
Nine, 1-2 due up in the inning. Lepley's going to lead off. Strohecker on deck. Rubel in the hole. Christine will be fourth if we get there. If everybody scores, Christine would be the tying run, and he's not due up in the inning. Down by 4. Highest scoring game of the year. Take strike 1. Take strike 2 outside. I don't mean 0-2 count. Here comes 0-2 pitch. Lepley's going to pop it foul down the first base line.
We can't afford it anymore.
Here comes the 0-2 pitch. Lepley swings through strike 3.
Hey, walk back here. We're a little more classy than what they are.
Takes ball 1. Top of the order here. 1-2 due up in the inning. Strohecker's going to hit one. Short. Strohecker has speed. The play at first. In there safe. It'll get away. Strohecker will stay at first. Rubel now comes up to the plate. Rubel steps into the plate. 1 on, 1 out. Bottom of the 6th, Huskies trail by 4. Takes high for ball 1. Here comes. That's going to be outside. It'll be a 2-0 count now to Lincoln Rubel. Here comes the 2-0 pitch to Rubel. Strohecker pick off in there safely. Here comes the 2-0. Rubel's going to foul it off left field side. Right field, my apologies. Other than the 5th inning, the only times the Huskies scored was in the 2nd. Had a 6-run bottom of the 2nd. Mechanicsburg had a 6-run top of the 6th inside for ball 3. It'll be a 3-1 count with a runner on first. 3 balls, 1 strike, 1 out. Runner on first. Here comes the pitch to Rubel. Rubel's going to hit one to third. 5. Throws over to first in time for the out, and that'll be the 2nd out of the inning. Christine comes up to the plate. Had one ripped down the line foul in the bottom of the 5th. Take strike 1. Here comes the 0-1 to Christine. One's going to be hit to up the middle. He fumbles the ball to play at first. He's in there safely. Two on. Landon Haig had a triple in his last at bat. Weaver on deck. Haig at the plate. Tripled his last plate appearance to right center. Pickoff is in there safely. Here comes the 0-0 to Haig. Swings through strike 1. Oh, 1 count. Haig in the box. Here comes the pitch. Take strike 2. 0-2 count, 2 outs. Any main delay or lightning would put an end to this one. So we're past the 5th inning. Here comes the 0-2. Haig swings through strike 3. Huskies trail by 4. We head to the 7th inning live on MCTV.
What am I asking? Oh, okay. Hey, gray sweatshirt.
Welcome back. Score 11-7. We're leading Metro County baseball. Chase Hartung, foul. Big bounty. Not at all. Leading off
Hartung steps up on the mound. 2-3-4 do it for the Wildcats. Take strike one. Fastball on the outside part of the plate. Here comes the 0-1. Low in the dirt. 1-1 count. Here comes the 1-1. Take strike two. Here comes the payoff. Takes ball two. Here comes the 2-2. Popped foul. Fouled off. We'll do it again on the 2-2 pitch. Mark steps in. The 2-2 once more from Hartung. Low in the dirt for ball three. The 3-2. Popped up right field. Makes the first out of the inning. Patrick steps up to the plate. Takes strike one. Takes strike two with a curveball on the outside part of the plate. Here comes the 0-2 to Patrick. That one's hit fairly deep center field. Strohacker's going to get down out there. Strohacker's going to throw the relay tag in there safely with a standing double. Weaver steps into the plate. That one's hit right field. Haig gets under it. Runner's not going to tag. Haig gets to put out. Runner on second, 2 outs. 5-hitter at the plate, outside for ball one. This has been the exact opposite of a Huskies game. Huskies usually have a low-scoring game. This has been the highest-scoring game of the season. And it's taken 4 days to figure out a winner. Take strike one on the outside part of the plate. It'll be a 1-1 count with 2 outs in the top of the 7th. Here comes the 1-1. Takes low and away for ball 2.
Sun was out whenever we got here.
Huskies will play 4 games in 3 days. Take strike 2. Fouled back. That one's going to be fouled back. Now in the right field line.
Something Saints and they just exactly right. They take a weed whack or something.
Here comes
Yeah, there's some down there.
the 2-2.
Yeah.
That one's hit left field. Left fielder gets under it for the 3rd out of the inning. Huskies have 4 runs and 3 outs to tie the game live on MCTV. When we return, we'll figure out the end of this one on MCTV Baseball.
Baseball game. We'll be back after this. WCHX 105. Up in the 7. It's going in the bottom of the 7.
We gotta find a way here, guys. Let's go. Come on.
That crazy. Welcome back to Mifflin County Baseball on WCHX 105.5, sponsored by Blaze Alexander Subaru, pregame sponsored Box Furniture, Forest Creekside Tavern, Boulevard Takeout and Corner Vault, First Area Federal Credit Union, Heller Homestead Funeral Homes, Juliana Valley Tri-County Drug and Alcohol Abuse Commission, Lewistown Cabinets, Advent Motors, Woods Family Heating and Conditioning, Victory Auto, and timeout sponsor, Parkway Store. Sponsors are me, afternoon broadcast on baseball.
4 runs, 3 outs, and 1 Huskies dream. That's what the recipe is for an ideal world for the Huskies. Is right field. The storm is a brewing. Be 5, 6, 7 due up in this inning. Gonna take ball 1. Here comes the 1-0. Take strike 1. Here comes the 1-1. Swings through strike 2. Here comes the 1-2 to Weaver. Takes high.
New team, I'm sure.
Ammon on deck. Alexander in the hole. Here comes the 2-2 to Weaver. That one's going to be hit the third. Throw over to first. In time for out one. Huskies have 7 runs on 7 hits and 3 errors. Wildcats have 11 runs, 10 hits, and 2 errors. Here comes the first pitch. Slings through strike one. Anybody can beat anybody in this conference. This is proven that Chambersburg beat Mechanicsburg as take strike 2. Chambersburg beat Mechanicsburg yesterday. Mechanicsburg, if everything holds, will beat the Huskies today. And Huskies beat Cumberland Valley. So that's how quick you can go from 10th to 2nd in the standings. Tough play, run over at first, in time for the second out. Alexander is the last hope for the Huskies. Going to take outside for ball one. Huskies down to their final out here in this wild one versus Mechanicsburg. Mechanicsburg looking to be the only team to sweep the Huskies this season. Takes low, it'll be a 2-0 count. Huskies need 4 runs in and out. They've done it already in the second inning. Plank hit for Hopple. Hopple's now going to go back into the lineup if we get there. My apologies. So that'll be a 3-0 count to Alexander. My apologies once again. Take strike one. Here comes the 3-1 to Alexander. That one's popped up, and this should end it. Center fielder gets under it, and that's the game. This one started on Monday, ends Thursday at 5:52. A 4-day game, 18 total runs. Wildcats win 11-7. Thank you all for watching MCTV. I'm Aiden Stevens. Be safe and have a good rest of your night.